Welcome to WWE 2K25 MyGM mode. I am your GM attackslug for the first time on this show, playing as the NXT brand. But which NXT brand should I choose? Do I want fighting champion? Do I want fresh meat? Or do I want ruthless aggression? I think we'll stick with the black and gold. And my CPU opponents will be the voice of the voiceless CM Punk, and he'll be in charge of Monday Night Raw. When you think SmackDown GMs, you think Teddy Long, playa, holla holla. And going a bit extreme will be Sensational Sherry, confirming those selections. And yes, AI is on extreme. Game difficulty is on extreme. Win condition is the fans, because last year on extreme, it glitched out at the very end and the trophies screwed me. So screw that. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for my CPU opponents, hopefully. So trophies do not care. Now, to make it even harder on your boy, minimum possible budget. So we started with 3 mil there. Player order is going to be default. I tried random last time. Let's not do random. Let's just do a default order and keep on the shakeups with a custom draft pool called Extreme. No auto drafts. Should I have the classic match types unlocked? I think I will, because that seems more interesting for this playthrough. Booking timer is off, and then no timer penalty. Let's begin the draft. We have 3 million to spend. Should I immediately throw $500,000 at the heel John Cena is the question. Is that my top guy, top champion, 25 overall on his in-ring experience? I mean, it's very, very tempting. But just down the line here at 100 grand off would be Cody Rhodes, also WrestleMania style. We got Roman Reigns in here, the big dog, the tribal chief. It's a very tricky first pick, I feel like, because certainly Seth is a specialist, as is Cody. And sure, I could build the brand around Cody as your face champion carrying the thing, because that makes more sense in terms of match types, in terms of matchups. In terms of maximizing my minutes, I think Cody is a better choice than John Boy, but I'm curious to see who might pick up John Cena at $500,000. Is certainly costly when you only have 3 to spend and a lot of guys to book. So Cody, come on down to NXT. Raw chooses the Viper, Randy Orton. SmackDown chooses Rhea, Bloody, Ripley, and EC Dub gets LA Knight, yeah! Now, with Cody being my top guy, top champion specialist, I would need a heel to go up against. And would that be Xavier Woods, his high school nemesis? Would that be Kofi Kingston, Jamaican me crazy? Or would that be the phenomenal AJ Styles? Raw, Becky Lynch, the man. SmackDown, Jey Uso, yeet. EC Dub, Bianca Belair, the EST. Now, my top 2 male stars are chosen, which means who is my leading lady? We have 2.271 to spend, and Bayley is 288. So that'll be our first million spoken for with that pick. And we got a lot more talent we need to pick here, so curious. But again, early on, your top picks is going to be most helpful to be a specialist. So Bayley, come on down. Ding dong, hello. Raw gets Brutus Creed. SmackDown gets Ivar. And then EC Dub gets Akam. 1.983. We need someone for Bayley to fight. She's a face. We need a heel. And I feel like Asuka is going to be too expensive at $285. So keeping in mind we have a lot more talent that needs to get booked here on this show. I think for Bayley, we choose Chelsea Green. Julius Creed over to Raw. Wendy Chu to SmackDown. And JC Jane to ECW getting Extreme. So, we have our men's championship. We have our women's championship. Next up is our mid-card champion. Who will hold that North American title? 305, Aleister Black. Raw gets Duke Hudson. SmackDown chooses Eric. And ECW gets Rezar. So I can see those tag teams being picked up here. Interesting. So, for Aleister Black, who is a fighter, we need a bruiser. And that bruiser at 221 will be Jacob Fatu. Raw chooses Dakota Kai. SmackDown chooses Andrade. Ah, good times. And Akira Tozawa to ECW. 1.225. We need tag teams now. And we need to get cheap on the tag team. So who's down on the bottom? I love you, Solo. Raw chooses Isladon. SmackDown chooses Omos. And ECW gets Otis. He's coming. Now, to team up with Solo Sikoa. 178, A-Town down, Austin Theory. Raw gets Andre Chase. SmackDown gets Dragon Lee. And ECW gets Lexus King. We have the heel team for our tag team division. 104, Whoop That Trick. Raw chooses Noamdar. SmackDown gets Lyra Valkyria. And ECW gets Fallon Henley. We're at 758 now. And so the tag team partner for Trick is going to be, let's see, we need another fighter here. And your tag team partner for Trick is a big, strong boy, Tyler Bate. Over on Raw, Josh Briggs. SmackDown chooses Shayna Baszler. And then ECW gets Maxine Dupri. Which means in round 11, with 601 remaining in the budget, we have our World, Women's, Mid-Card, and Tag Team titles. Now it's kind of end the rest. So let's see end the rest here, because as a reminder, there is still a show to book after this. So you want to have 0 in your budget for a show to book, maybe. So I think perhaps we'll get a Cruiser and a Giant. So Javon, that boy Bouncy. Raw gets Kairi Sane, the Pirate Princess. SmackDown gets Joaquin Wilde. And then ECW picks Elton Prince. Yes, boy. So if you have a Cruiser, then you need a Giant. And my options for that are Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, and the Ring General Gunther. And I feel like having a 5 for Javon with a 15 of Gunther, the match is not going to be great. Anyway, it's kind of a waste of the money on that level. So I guess Big Red, you're up. Why not? Raw chooses Raquel, another Giant. SmackDown chooses Gunther. Good for them. And then ECW gets Kit Wilson. Yes, boy. So looking at the bottom of the card here, and considering that Bayley is a specialist and Chelsea Green is a fighter, my best option would be Lash Legend as a bruiser who could fight both Bayley and Chelsea and would have a class matchup. So 93K is my final pick here in this draft. Lash Legend, you're up. Raw chooses Zoe Stark. SmackDown chooses Ludwig Kaiser. And Indy Hartwell goes to ECW. Now, that's 221 to book our first show. My draft here is over. Let's see who else is out there for the other brands competing. Raw chooses Giovanni Vinci. SmackDown selects nobody else. So SmackDown's like, yeah, player, I'm done. Yeet. ECW gets Gigi Dolan. Raw gets Mark Coffey. ECW gets Montez Ford. Raw is done. So there's CM Punk's roster. Eddie Thorpe to ECW. And now Sherry has finished her picks. And so your largest roster here will be ECW by 1. And Raw beats out myself and SmackDown by 2 stars there. So that's kind of our overall draft for the show. Let us lock in our very first extreme bit of booking. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, heading towards Clash at the Castle. I was born for this. Holla, 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 how's the prep going, Slug? Obviously, we have Jey Uso, 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. And CM Punk has the roster and show running capabilities. I don't think NXT stands a chance. We have the man, Becky Lynch. Men's World Champion, we know, Cody Rhodes. Whoa. Men's Tag Team Champions, Solo and Theory. And my North American champion will be Jacob Fatu. And of course, over here with the ladies, I don't have, well, okay. I need more of those, clearly. So certainly Bayley in the top spot and Lash here in the mid card. But I don't know what to do for my tag teams. So for right now, Chelsea and Lash are for the tag teams. That just improves their popularity. And if they ever get defended, who knows? I'll have to hire more of these ladies. So confirming that selection, finalizing my champions, confirming Hell Spa number 3, Network Special, Vito Star, Back Alley Crew, Get Schooled 3, and there it is, and there we go. This week, the game wants a run-in, and the reward is 4 weeks for a contract negotiation. Not super important on week 1 there, game. But, oh good lord, we're on Extreme. We don't have the budget or the superstars, so this is going to be interesting. So, obviously, all standard matches on our first show, and they're for those titles. So, Cody and AJ for that world title, NXT title. Lock it in. Open the show with Bayley and Chelsea for that women's title. Aleister Black and Jacob for that North American title. Solo and Theory, and their challengers will be Trick and his partner, Tyler Bate. And yes, the extra hiring did come in handy. So Rowan, who's the Giant, versus Javon, who is, oh, they're both faces. Oh man, I screwed up there. Boo, I screwed up on that. Lame. All right, well, I want that as a feud, but that'll be a call-out promo, apparently. So let's do a call-out promo from, wait, who has better skills here? Rowan has more than, sure. Rowan calls out Javon. Do I bring in someone to face my mid-card champion, Lash Legend? It had to be a fighter and a heel on the ladies' side. So let's check on that here on the Scouts. Roll the dice, and here we go. Lopez, Paxley, and Parker. And I almost brought in Paxley earlier, so you know what? Fine, we're bringing in Tatum Paxley. Why not? 5 weeks, 20K. Sign that talent for 1 cycle of this deal. So that means for that title will be Lash Legend, and it will be Tatum. There it is, face heel, bruiser fighter for that mid-card championship. Let's check on my power cards first. So, fighting champion 2 times per season. All matches will have a large match rating boost. And considering all matches on this show are title matches, then I'm going to use that. So, let's do it. Why not? Starting out hot. I can make someone a legend. Health Spa, whatever. Back Alley Crew is whatever. Vito Star is sure. And, yeah, that's fine, I suppose, for this show. I don't have the assets for any of these, so 3, 2, 2, and 2. I have 1 right now. Confirm the booking. 3K. Lock it in. Let's go. NXT. What do we get? Bayley and Chelsea. Title matchup. 1, 2, 3, and still is Bayley. It was a 4.5-star classic power card coming in clutch. Lash and Tatum for the mid-card title. It is, and still, Lash Legend, and it is 3.5 great tag team titles. And still, Solo and Theory. It is 3.5 great. Aleister Black challenging Fatu for that title, and it is, and new 4 stars amazing. Call out, new rivalry, good. And the American Nightmare versus the phenomenal AJ Styles for that NXT World title. We get and new classic 4.5 stars. Over on Monday Night Raw, What do you got, CM Punk? The Creed Bros versus Briggs and Randy Orton, who is also the world champion. So, again, bad start on that booking, because why? Because now he's Randy 2 belts. What the hell? 3 stars. Duke and Coffee with a Vinci run-in. And it's going to be Mark Coffee with the win. Mediocre, 2 stars. Kyrie and Raquel. It is Raquel. It was 2 stars. Kai and Dawn. Dakota Kai, 2 stars. And your main event, Big Time, defends against Zoe Stark in a one-on-one title matchup. Your winner, the man. 3 stars. It was good. Holla holla playa. Rhea, Bloody, Ripley, and Wendy Chu with the Women's World title on the line. It is, and new, Wendy Chu, 3.5 stars. Dragon Lee and Gunta with a Kaiser run-in, I would hope, on behalf of Gunta. Yeah, alright, so it's a Kaiser and Lee, what? Rivalry? Sure, okay. 2.5. Baszler, U.S. Women's Champion against Lyra, defending that title in the mid-card, and still, the Submission Magician, 3.5 stars. Viking Raiders versus Andrade and Joaquin Wilde, who also, Andrade is a champ there, but now he's Andrade 2 belts, so sure, 2.5 stars. And the Yeet Man, tables matchup versus the Giant Omos for that world title. What a main event. It is, and still, Jey Uso, 4 stars, amazing. And Sensational Sherry brings us a non-title tag team matchup. The Alpha Academy versus the AOP. Why not? And winners, but not champions, 3 stars. Indy and Maxine. Getting into it here in a just standard regular matchup. It is Indy Wrestling. 1.5 stars, disappointing. Triple Threat, JC, Bianca, and Gigi. 2 stars, mediocre, Bianca. Lexis King, who is a champion here. Montez Ford, but it's a Kit Wilson run-in for reasons, and Lexis King wins. Wilson and Ford is the rivalry, 2 stars. So wait, you have Pretty Deadly, but you didn't make them a tag team? Okay. Elton Prince and LA Knight, yeah, your world champion. So, good for him. It is LA Knight, and still, 3.5, yeah. And so, we get amazing NXT booking. Raw is good, SmackDown is good, and ECW is good. But again, I played that power card, so great first week here. 41,000 on the fan change, and 54 here on the cash flow. Raw does 27. And they make 54. SmackDown does 34. And they make 49. And ECW does 24. And they make 54. And so even with that power card, that is a not even 7,000 lead here over Team Teddy on SmackDown. So a just marginal victory here on week 1 of Extreme GM mode. Heading to Corbin, Kentucky. Cody Rhodes is pissed. He wants a rematch clause against AJ Styles. I'll make that happen. No worries, Code Man. And Chelsea Green also wants that rematch. And yes, I can do that rematch. And so things continue tomorrow on the show. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching my videos right here. I'll see you next time. And I'm out.